Hi, my name is Callie Thalji, and for the individual project timeline, I chose to do my project on affordable housing in Florida because I think that's what stems all of the problems. When lower income people can't afford to have a home, then that leads them onto the streets, and that leads them to get more liable to get sick, and it gets other people sick, and it just causes more death and accidents that I think can be avoided. I think I have 10 events, and 3 to 5 major ones want to start off with the rapid population growth in Florida. Because I think affordable housing in Florida is over the limit compared to the rest of the United States. Florida is in very high demand. People want to vacation, move, retire here. This causes the lower class to get pushed out because people coming here, they have money, and there's only so much room for everyone. So it causes a fight for property, and it raises the prices and causes lower income people to be pushed out. The New York Times states, according to 1970's United States Census, Sunshine State rose by 35% between April 1st, 1960 and April 1st, 1970. This is what truly started the big boom. I think the next huge pivotal point is the public housing delays caused by President Ronald Reagan. The federal government gave the affordable housing responsibility to private developers who put profit over people. As you can see in the image, the red line declines in housing. This emphasizes the federal government disassociating themselves with the housing department. This is not okay because people look to the government, like, federal government, what do we do? What do we do? And if they're not giving any of their attention to affordable housing, no one sees it as an issue. And this causes things to escalate and escalate and escalate. The next part of it, I think, that is a really key point is the Sadowski Affordable Housing Fund. There's a connection to this from public housing delays. There's no support from the federal government, so our local governments had to take control. The Sadowski Affordable Housing Fund, established in 1992, uses a portion of tax dollars to support the affordable housing. And this started off so good until the government and the raids started taking it and putting it towards the general state needs. There's debt, so we're just going to take it out of there because it doesn't matter. Again, showing the public, this is the whole connection, showing the public that we don't care about affordable housing. So why should anyone else? And then workforce housing. This is lower income people, again, having less opportunity because they can only afford to live in certain neighborhoods. So in turn, they have less opportunity to get housing. They can't afford transportation, so they have to work, and they only make a minimum wage, and so they can only afford that housing. So it's a never-ending cycle. Like, we live here, we can only afford to live here. We can't afford to work anywhere else to get out of here, so we're just going to stay in here. And then again, it's a never-ending cycle. Workforce housing in high-cost market states. The search for quality, affordable housing, workforce housing is further exacerbated by the relatively uniform distribution of high housing prices across the region. That's just basically saying we're stuck here because we can't afford to get out. Another rise in population. There's a lot of people coming in here. We don't have places to build. This connects to Hurricane Irma because it's dangerous. There are certain areas in Florida that are dangerous to build land on and to build houses on. And so the government doesn't care. We need money. That's our number one priority. We need money. So they build houses on flood zones. So when hurricanes like Hurricane Irma happen, when they're really destructive, then it just in turn destroys everything. People have to evacuate. And these low-income houses, like, people can't afford to be evacuating, their housing getting destroyed, but sometimes this flood zone is all they can afford. Business Insider. Hurricane Irma rolled through my town, causing the barrier island I live on to be evacuated for the second time in less than a year. Low-income families cannot afford to move there. Like, they need to be in stable housing, so we can't build it in dangerous areas. And then again, you're putting lives at risk. COVID-19, it put a bunch of people out of jobs. Eviction rate went up 30%. It put millions out of jobs. Companies shut down. This caused housing to go up in prices because once finally it went back into business, then they raised their prices because they were out of business for so long. And then this video just really elaborates on how in 2025 it's going to nothing but continuously growing in rent housing prices, and affordable housing is going to be more and more of an issue. And if we keep overlooking it, then nothing is going to get better. I think my question is, though, how much are we going to lean on the government? How much are we going to look to the government when clearly they haven't done anything? We need to stand up for ourselves and just start something within the community and get more people out there. So how much is the government really going to help is my question, my research question.